guys. So I think in our last 7 games against Texas A&M, I think we're 2-5. Someone want to check that.
It is.
Um, and so obviously this has been a tough matchup for us as far as systems matching up. Just like last time we came in and said, gosh, we're 1 win away from this or that. There were a lot of things to talk about. And we were, obviously managed to check a lot of boxes on Saturday. But to this one here would be to go undefeated on the road would really be something in the SEC and especially in this particular year. So again, 1 win away from our most SEC wins in our history, the most wins overall. There's a lot of things that are available, and so we know we've got a tough matchup against a team that is as athletic and as deep as any team in our league. They play as hard as anybody in the league. They turn you over. They're the best offensive rebounding team in the league, one of the best in the country. They do a phenomenal job in transition and getting to the foul line, and so there are a lot of challenges to this matchup.
Just want to ask about Denver, how he's doing, and what you guys might think of his status.
We'll know more later. So that's one of the disadvantages of actually having press conferences before practices. I just don't know yet. The good thing, as we talked about yesterday, I think, was that it is a bone bruise. It's a bruise, and it is not. It's a soft tissue. Actually, it's actually a soft tissue. It's not even a bone bruise, and so therefore, it wasn't a. It's something that could hold him out, but it's not something that's going to hold him out for long.
Bruce, you talked about A&M and their just ability to get in the rebound. It's not a team that shoots particularly well, but they get their own shots over and over again. Just how challenging is that to play against a team like that loves to just go get their own misses?
Well, they rebound about 55% of the misses that they get around the basket, and about 45% of the misses inside the foul line. I mean, so literally they throw it up there, anywhere inside of 15 feet, they get it half the time. So that presents you with a real challenge.
With a game like this, you're not going to say that you're not playing for anything, but with the SEC clinch, is it kind of a chance to try something?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely, great question, but absolutely not. We have got a lot to play for. We're trying to be a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. The possibility of being undefeated on the road this year is incredible. We've never beaten Alabama and Kentucky on the road in the same year. There's a lot to play for, and this will be A&M will be one of the more physical teams that we've played against. Two of the most physical teams we played against, or let's just say three. Duke, Florida, 2 losses, and then Tennessee was a close game. And those would be, I think, the top 3 most physical teams we played against. So, whether physicality, you could say bothers us, or I listed 2 or 3 teams that are all 1 and 2 seeds in the NCAA tournament. So, whether it's physicality or just great teams, I can't say which.
Bruce, Denver and Todd have basically split point guard duties for a while now. If Denver can't go, what would be the options there besides playing Todd 40 minutes?
Yeah, we'll worry about that when it comes to game time. I'm not going to talk about who my quarterback is going to be in case my starting quarterback can't go.
Bruce, A&M's defense is one that's been really, really tough, top 10 all year. What sticks out about them is just the way they defend this year?
They switch a lot. They're very they change things up between zone, pressure, full court, 3/4 court looks in the back, drop back man or zone. They try to confuse you as a play caller, and I don't think we've done a very good job offensively against them. Last year, We had a great defensive effort. Jalen Williams played fantastic. Johni had a phenomenal second half, and it's good to give KD a shout out. KD was really good against them last year and really helped us win that game. And just a shout out to KD. I don't know, they got a chance to maybe win a regular season championship, this year. So, so excited for him. And it was, I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you that I heard from KD after the game on Saturday. So, got a chance to love on each other a little bit.
He's leading the country in technicals. I know that'll surprise you.
My man.
Bruce, I know you like to have your team's goals out in front of them. You talked about they could win the championship, and you kept the SEC standings. It's not the tournament yet, but do you talk to them about trying to get the number one overall seed, that being a goal for you guys? Is that something that you put on the table?
Yeah, we just put it all on the table, and I think the thing about them is that we talked about this before the Kentucky game, and one of the things that I want to try to separate my guys from and compliment my guys, and I've done it all year, and they've done it all year, is what team respects every opponent you play and gets excited about playing every single night, except this team. And every team has letdowns. Every team has letdowns, right? Not this team. And they're to be commended for that. The combination of respecting their opponent and also, a real desire to make history. And, and especially when, and again, what I wanted our guys to understand about going up to Rupp was how hard that was going to be. Like we got to play really well up here to win. There's all kind of history going up against us. There's a great team over there that's beaten 7 teams in the top 15. Do you know how difficult this is going to be? And do you know how good they are? And yet, we're 14-1 going into this game, and they're 8-7 going into this game. I want to compliment you guys. You're deserving of this championship. You've earned this championship. Now go out and prove it, and let's get it tonight.
Coach, coming down the stretch, 2 more games left in the regular season. What are some aspects of the game you still have to see improved upon, maybe by this team?
Just we've been able to win against lots of different styles and like for example, I mean, our front line has carried us in so many ways in so many games, and that's been a big difference for us. And then in this particular game, we got 4 baskets from the front line, and without Denver Jones, our 3 other top guards just have phenomenal days. Miles Kelly has puts a 30 spot on him. The interesting thing, little parody here. I had asked the question after the game. The last time I've only won in Rupp twice. Once at Tennessee, my first time ever going there, and now here at Auburn. And the common denominator was Chris Lofton and Miles Kelly, both playing the exact same position, the 2 spot, both on the same side of the floor. Lofton had 32 in that game, and Miles had 30. So if that's all it takes to win at Rupp,
Just 30.
that's all it takes is got to have a guard putting 30 spot on him. That's pretty hard.
Bruce, part of your outlive is early screenings. You have them here at Neville. Have you been able to talk to Coach Freeze about his diagnosis and how important it was for him to get that early diagnosis?
Yeah, no, Coach has got an incredible family. Coach is a man of faith, and he is in relationship with the Lord, and he trusts his God, and so he's in a way better spot than people without that faith, and so he is going to do what's best for his football family and his family. That's all. His only consideration actually was everybody else. That's all he could talk about was how it affected everybody else, how it affected his kids, how it affected his wife, how it affected his players. Pretty spectacular human being.
First, you talk about Chad having 22, but he also had 3 steals and a block. Made some big plays on the defense. How much have you kind of seen him continue to kind of settle in a little bit more on defense, especially coming back from those injuries that he had?
I think he's healthier now, and Chad Baker is one of the best players all-round players in the country. I mean, what he can do on both ends of the floor, what he can do scoring the ball as well as playmaking, how he can defend off the ball and on the ball when he wants to. He's you have to have some upside at this time of the year. Miles Kelly showed us upside. I think Chad showed us upside in this last week. Tahad showed us upside in that game, and that's what you have to have at this time of the year. How much more upside does each team have? And that's going to be, last year, for example, Alabama would be a great example, just close to home. That team had a ton of upside last year, and they got hot at the right time. And my team in 2019, we finished fifth or we seeded fourth, I think. We tied for 4 seed, and seeded fifth, but tied for fourth. That team had upside, and we actually knew it, and had somewhat underachieved during the regular season. And you go into the postseason, and you got a lot to play for. What I've got to figure out is this team has done nothing even closely resembling underachieving. The question is, do we have upside? And we showed that Saturday.
Coach, you've been pretty vocal about Johni Broome being Player of the Year. Do you think in these last 2 games he has anything else to prove for that campaign?
Well, I think the biggest way for Johni Broome to be National Player of the Year is for his team to continue to win, and he impacts our winning with everything that he does, and so, yeah, I absolutely think every single game is an opportunity for him to demonstrate that he's a National Player of the Year, but especially with him helping his team win.
Even though there's still 2 games left in the regular season, for you guys to have wrapped up an outright title in what people are calling like the best conference ever in college basketball, has that kind of sit in with you yet, or
No.
Or what this means for this team?
Yeah, I could only see Texas A&M on Tuesday and taking it, continue to take one at a time. Definitely not a time to reflect, but I can't believe the amount of blessing that God bestowed on this team on Saturday. I mean, so many things have had to happen for us to be able to win our 5th championship in the last 8 seasons. So, just beyond grateful.
He kind of came into the season thinking Tahad was going to play more off ball. Now he's kind of played more point. How have you seen him grow as a point between the start of the season and where we are now?
I think he always has been a point guard at heart, and with his leadership and running his ball clubs. And we have the ability to allow a 2 guard to get into a lot of point guard actions. But what I did not want to put on a freshman, again, was having to run the team and try to score. And so just knowing that he's a brilliant scorer, let's see what we can do with other guys to let him just do what he's great at. But then he demonstrated the ability to be able to do both. And then I had to decide also. I did not, unlike Denver Jones, who in his 2nd year could handle playing both positions. Denver Jones is so valuable to us. I can't even begin to tell you, because he plays 2 positions. He's our best defensive guard, and for us to win the game without him, that's incredible. But I did not want to put that on the freshman. And of course, if I did, Tahad would have been fine.